To the Donut Donny mixer stream, and today we are going to do a live version of the Managersim football simulator game, which I'm guessing a lot of people on Mixer have never heard of, because the Managersim Beginners series is actually on another streaming service which I won't mention, but just bear with me. I got to get. Suddenly Mixer on my phone is now not agreeing with me again, so I always get teething problems when I go on this, so I'm just going to pause for a second. Okay, everything's back to what it should be, other than me losing my voice today, so I'm going to keep it a bit brief and drink plenty of water as well. So Managersim, what is Managersim? Managersim is a free online browser football management game, and again, I'll stress again, it's free. Didn't I say it's free? It's free, and it's on the browser, so you don't need any expensive graphics cards or anything like that to make it work. And if you like football or soccer, then please come and join us. We're in episode 20 of the beginner series, and we're in Sweden with a site called Elfsborg. Again, if you want to go and see previous episodes, then you can find it on a rival streaming service. You can see my links there. I think you should guess whereabouts they actually are. Let's just say the other service begins with Y, and that's all I'm going to give to you at the moment. So we're going to go over to Elfsborg, and I'll just give you an update on how they're getting on. We're well into the second season now, so things have happened, and here we go. Here's Elfsborg at the moment. At the moment, we're still building up our stadium from 31,000 to 33,000. That's going to take quite a while. The money is building up as well nicely. We've got about 40,000, I think. Oh, I just realised you can't actually see what I'm looking at. Okay, just bear me for a second. Hopefully I'll sort this out for you. Okay, let's see how that looks. Again, because of this delay, what I'm seeing, what you're seeing, is sort of like 10-15 seconds later. So I'm doing a bit of a TARDIS Doctor Who time warp here. But as I'm just checking now, you can actually see what I'm looking at, so that's cool. So let's start this again, shall we? So basically, we're at Elfsborg, and I'm just going to move that. You can't see the top screen because this is, oops, doing a bit of live changing here. Woohoo! There you go. You might be able to see it better now. Right, back to Elfsborg. What were we doing? Right, let's start the series. Let's start the episode 20. We're in Sweden, managing Elfsborg, which I took over a season ago. Again, this game ticks very fast. Ticks are how dates are progressed in the game, so it doesn't go to real life dates. Well, it did, but in the past. So there's 3 ticks every day, which means a week goes every seasons. I know, completely forgotten what I was going to say then. 3 ticks go a day, which means a week a day. That's what I'm trying to get at. So the last time you checked in episode 19, we were just starting the season, and we were actually starting very well. We've hit a bit of bad fortune now for the last couple of weeks. We haven't lost many games at all. We've only lost 1 out of the last, I think, 11 league games. But the problem is we keep drawing league games because we've had also a bit of a striker crisis. I'll show you where we are in the current table at the moment. There we are. We've dropped down the table because we've actually, out of the 13 league games, we've actually won 6, drawn 6 and lost 1 because of the injuries. We've had a lot of injuries, and most of them have been because of our strikers. We've been very unlucky with kind of like a mini injury crisis. We've also faced our Malmo, managed by K, and we lost that. We lost them. That was our only defeat. We lost them 1-0. If you click on here, you see the match form, and you can see our form has dropped. That was a defeat against Malmo, and then these mean drawn games, so we've lost, drawn, 1-1 in our last 6 league games. I'm hoping for the form to come back. I've made some changes to the side, one big change, and I'll show you what the 11 looks like now with this injury crisis. So everything with a red cross means that player is injured, so we've lost quite a few decent players, including we've had a bit of a bad the injury crisis. It wasn't our strikers, sorry, it was our midfielders. We lost Binsbergen and Strockenberg for quite a while, and then Bowman then went off injured, so we lost 3 of our top midfielders. Sorry, it's not strikers. Strikers is another game I was doing. So we lost 3 of our 3 top midfielders out due to injury, and then we lost our very good youth midfielder as well. So that's 4 midfielders lost. And then we picked up some other injuries as well. For instance, Burgessme, our top defender, then got injured. This all happens in football, I know. So we had to decide what we're going to do about our midfield crisis. So what I did, one of the biggest changes, was Buki here. Now, some of you who have watched these series before might have realised that Buki was originally a midfield attack left side only. I wanted him to take part more in the central midfield, so I did which was a bit risky, I changed his position. And again, the way you do that is you select your player. Let's go and find Buki again. There you go. And then here we go. He's already been done. So I asked him to play central, so he can get to the central role, but keep the position as it is. I didn't want to make him defence only or mid attack only. And so he's now a midfield centre, left and attack. So he can play anything. I'll show you what I mean. He can play number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, 10 or 11. But sometimes when you ask the player to change positions, you can only do this with these points, by the way, is his skill rating might go down. His overall skill rating might go down. So this is what he was before. So he was a 10 out of 10. He was an amazing player. And this is what he was after I did the change. Still 10 and 10. So thankfully for us, nothing changed here. He stayed as he was. So what else happened also during the last update? We've sold a few players again. We're trying to get the player tally down a bit. So as you can see, since July, since the season started, we haven't actually bought many players. We've mostly sold players. The last 2 was Tabez finally went over to Atletico Madrid, and Patras is only just gone. He's gone to Greece. And so we got some good money for him. We got 5.5 million for him. That's not bad. So the squad, we're third, still very good. It's a very close table. Malmo will recover. They will challenge the side soon. Our next league game is actually in the next tick, and we'll be playing away on Orebro. Now, I do not know if that's a human manager or a computer human manager, because to make the game more competitive, more human managers, but they're sort of like bots, if that makes sense, so their human manager name only have been introduced in the game. The only way you can find out if this is a human manager or not, but looking at it, I got a feeling this is a human manager, because Morton has made the side into much bigger, so that means they've got plenty of money. And if I go to history, he only just joined. I think that's a human manager. If that's a human manager, that means this league is going to be a bit more competitive, which means it'll be a bit more tougher for us. And Omero have got a very good side. They've got an amazing attacker, their headman. That's probably why he joined this side, and to join us as well. Hi, Morton. How are you doing? Just in case you're watching. And very good defender as well. Yeah, I can see why he's joined the side. They're a decent side to start off with, and they've only got 24 players, so he might buy some new players in. So I think Ombro will go up the league as well. Where did they finish? They finished 4th, so they're in Europe. How did they get knocked out in Europe? I knew they... I'm doing this very quick. They finished 4th, so they finished in UEFA Cup last season. That's what UC obviously means. So how did they get on? Did they stay in Europe? Here we go. Yeah, they qualified. They went through the qualifying rounds. They won round 1, and they're doing really well, actually. They're doing really well. They should be up there. I think they will get into round 3, hopefully. Okay, Malmo. Where did Malmo finish? Kay, where did you finish last year? You finished 3rd. You see by there where they finished. So you were in UEFA Cup. Okay, so how did you get on, Kay? Basically, what's important about doing well in the cups is that your country gets European type points, like what they do in real life. So the more better we do, the more chances we might have more spots available. And it can work the other way, though, obviously. If we do very badly in Europe, then we might start losing some of these places. We might start losing the Toto place. We might start using the Wave Cup, and almost probably we'll lose only the Champions League spots. So we only have one country team going through. But Malmo, how well have you done in the UEFA Cup? He's doing well. He's doing really well. Good to see that, Kay. Coleraine are a good... on a different world, Coleraine are a very good Irish side. Yeah, please forgive me when I'm going through the screens that you might get sort of like a flash. So be advised about that this game does have flashing screens when I flick through one screen to the other. Not like a game, obviously, because this is a browser game, and again it's free. So Kay's doing very well in Europe. He's AIK, he's away, he won up 2-1. Yeah, I got a feeling that 2 of those sides are going to get into Europe, into the next round of Europe, which is good news. So how did our Swedish side get into the European Cup? So this is the Champions League as it is at the moment. This is based on the real Champions League. Again, this game is very retro. It's based on 2003. So that's why you still got the Intertoto and stuff like that, and you don't have the Europa League either. So this is the first group stage of the Champions League, and Gothenburg, there's the champions of last year. They're still in it, and they're top. Good, they're doing really well. So obviously the top 2 teams from each group then qualifies for round 2, which is nothing at the moment. So that means to me that we were really the only side that didn't really qualify for Europe, sadly. We didn't get that far, but again, we were against Utrecht. How did Utrecht get on, actually? Let's have a look. Again, forgive me for these flashing screens between each screen loading. How did they get on? They got knocked out in the semi-finals. Okay. It wouldn't look better if they actually progressed further than that. But again, we We were a bit unlucky. This is again what happened in our Toto match when we got knocked out. Yeah, that's when the injuries started happening, and we lost. Of course, Ekman was injured for a little while. Another way of checking how players, if they're injury prone or not, is you go back to looking at the player, and then you go back to their history. And normally it says up there if they've been injured for a long time. If it's been a long-term injury, not in this case. So Ekman was injured. I think he was only injured for 1 or 2 weeks. So I've gone into his stats screen and looked at what he's been doing this season. So he has not scored. Actually, there we go. That was the 8th of November, and it's 22nd November now. So he was actually injured for about 2 games. But he hadn't played. His scoring record's not that good at the moment, to be honest. 1, 2, and that's an international. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, in the last 10 games, 1 international, 9 league games, he's only scored 3 times. Hopefully that will improve, but because his stats are so good, I have to put him in the side. Again, if you want to test, see how good your player is, you click Assistance Report and look at your mailbox, and then Ekman. And there you go. That's why he's still on the side, because there's a lot of positives here. The player's still young, very promising national team player, which means he's been picked for Sweden. With players like him, you can win titles. Not sure he can perform consistently, hence why he's not scoring as many as I liked. But he's a class player, that's why he's in the side. So because of these injuries I've had in midfield, I've been giving some youngsters a chance, and one of the other reasons why I moved Buki into the midfield is to give this guy a chance, Salmonson. Salmonson is another youngster that came through the very good youth academy we got, which has dried down a bit actually recently. Recently we haven't had as many good players coming in. His secondary stats are very decent for a 17-year-old, and famous last words here. I'm just going to do his report and see what my coaches say. Yeah, he's a 9.1, which is good. Which is good for him. He will develop a little bit more. Oh, if I go back, he's a 7.7 at the moment. So that skill will go up to a 9.1. Yeah, so there's a lot of flash screens in here. So again, please be advised, there's a lot of flashing screens and stuff in this game at the moment, because it's a browser game, it's loading up each page very quickly. So again, I hope it's not too bad for you. Yeah, back to the side. So we got Salmonson. I'm going to give him a chance to see how well he does. Kallstrom has come back into the midfield because basically of the midfield injury crisis that we got. We had no choice, we had to put him in. Now, one thing you might not have seen or haven't told you about is why certain games played for certain players is orange while others are white. Orange means they haven't been playing enough games, which means if they stay as orange, they might get a skill decrease very soon. Kallstrom is on, for instance, Kallstrom's on that. He's got an 8, which is very good for 3 games, but he's playing the next game, so he will play a few more games, so that orange will turn into white. White means they're fine. But some of these youngsters like Holm and Kraft and Eskud, they're likely to have a skill decrease unless I have an injury crisis again. Again, not every player can play. Oh yeah, I forgot to add, I did lose my top goalie as well due to injury. So I've lost my goalie and also 2 of my best midfielders, or 3 of my best midfielders, hence why I think our form has dropped, just like real life game. Yeah, so it's up to you entirely if you want to change these oranges and make sure they don't have skill decreases. Depends if the player is good enough or not. For instance, when I had the striker, when Elkman went injured, I gave Elias Safari a chance to play a couple of games. He had a very good assistant report rating, so I thought, yeah, his skills are low, but they will improve. So he's had 4 out of 17 games he's been playing. He's now a white, but the more league games I now play, that 17 obviously will rise, and he will, unless I don't I keep playing him again, he will go from white back down to orange. He had 4 games. We didn't do that much, to be honest. 6.3 average rating for a youngster. Now the academy's down to just 3 players at the moment, which is a bit of a surprise. Has the board dropped the academy figure down? They sometimes do that when they think, when you have a massive reduction or your money goes down, they just reduce your youth academy down to 0. Like, they panic. Have they done it? Because if it's down to 0, that's probably why the academy is very small at the moment. It's only 3 players. Let's see what they've done. Yeah, they have. They've reduced it down to 0, which is a bit naughty of them. So I'm going to add that back to 50,000. I can afford it. And that means I should get an increase of youth players again. That's probably why it's gone a bit quiet, because I didn't realise that they did that. Naughty them. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, if you've got very low cash in your main cash, then don't invest a lot in your youth. You need to survive, because if you get bankrupt, then you'll be fired. Because my company is fine. It's 40 million. So I don't know why they've done that. But anyways, it's now up to 50,000, so you click the amount of money there. Do not do the maximum. For instance, if I put 400,000 for the next couple of weeks, even though I've got 40 million, I will eventually go bankrupt. If you want to go bankrupt very quickly, that's the way to do it. But anyway, I'm on 50k. 50k is fine. So then you click apply. So that youth academy will rise again. Sneaky board. So I'm down to 41 first teamers at the moment. I'm still trying to get rid of a few players. A couple of these players who have been listed on youth who are not getting bids, even if I drop the price, I will have to eventually free transfer them, I think. So there'll be a number down there, which is a shame, because there's no chance. I got a feeling I won't be able to play this game players much, so hence I might have to free transfer them. I will try to keep some of them, like Strand I want to keep because he's got very good potential. And he's got 11 games at the moment, so he's safe. He won't go down to Orange for a while yet. How long is he injured for? Oh, just a week. Okay, so he should be back soon. So with all this injury crisis, obviously my physios have been very busy. If you go there. So there you go. Struckenberg, Bisberg, Bowman, it's scary. They're all being treated. The aim of me putting one of my youngsters in and play consistently, which was Eckerson, I'm sure someone can pronounce that, has really worked well. There you go. Remember, this is a youth player we saw a while ago. This is turning into a very good player, and I've had a bid from a human side for some like stupid money, some like 30-40 million for him. If I was struggling for money, I might have sold him, but no, this guy is a long-term future prospect. I got a feeling though he might want to join a bigger club eventually, because he's a 17-year-old Swedish international already. He's got some amazing stats here. You can see why people might want him. He's been a regular, so I've been playing on midfield right since beginning of the season, and it's worked really well for him. So hence why I'm now trying to do the same for Salmonson. So if I get 2 really good Swedish youngsters on my left and right wing, that will sort me for a long time. Again, Salmonson, it might work, it might not, but it'd be interesting to see what happens when he starts playing regular games. These stats will rise. Eriksson is one of our best players, for a really good youngster. And also Buki, now I put him as a midfield centre, his stats have now risen. 99, 99, look at that, really, really good. He's another one that could go. So anyone doing a sneaky bid, you just realise that when you looked at this, he hasn't got a big club contract. So if you put a bid in, I will say no. Ha 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 ha. So people can do that. They look at my players, because obviously when you're looking from your another manager's point of view into my side, you won't see my clauses. But you will on this stream, because you're seeing what I'm seeing. But he's on free relegation, so not big club, sorry. Erkman, I hope you improve. Alman, you're beginning another chance. Ronenberg, 14 games now, no goals. For a striker, that's not very good. He has been on the bench though for many games, as you can see there. He's been on the bench now for 8 games out of those last 14. So So there you go. So what's our next league game? Is Omibro. Okay, that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough season. Before we started this season, I thought we had a very good top 3 chance, but because now we've got 2 really good managers in, I think we're all going to fight for the top 3. Plus, some of these computer AI sides might be pretty decent. Last couple of checks then. How I'm doing manager ratings. I'm in 20th, which I've been 20th for quite a while now. But that will improve in time. My level ranking, I'm level 4 now. That's going up quite fast. A lot of clubs have asked for friendlies, which is really nice. I'm not playing in December at all. I'm not playing any European or league games in December. So please, if you're watching this and in the Italian game world, then send me some friendly requests for December. Some clubs I've already have. Man United has, and then I've got some computer sides here. I'm getting a lot of friendlies, which is nice. From Human Managers, Herbert in Italy. Luis, obviously you're in Portugal, doing very well your side there. Thank you. I know you're watching, so thank you very much for watching this series. Yeah, so it could be better, but we've had a bit of a midfield injury crisis, and the striker obviously went injured, and our top goalie went injured, hence why the drop in form. So next episode will be in a few ticks' time. We're going to let the season carry on, and in December as well. So next time you're coming back will probably be in the new year game time. So January, when we play these Elfsborg, AIK and Hammarby, for instance. We'll come back and I'll tell you how we're getting on. So thank you very much. This was a live recording, so hopefully you will enjoy the recorded version of this very soon. Obviously I'll post this to the other streaming service beginning with Y, but this episode will also be for a couple of weeks on my mixer. So thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.